Hi, sir. Good evening.
Hey, good evening. How are you?
Yeah, good, sir.
Good. Okay.
Yeah, let's.
Start. Okay. Thank you. All right. Hey, good evening, people. I know I'm a bit late. I'm 30 minutes, beyond what is the usual time that we need. But anyways, it's always nice to be on DC Live. And here again, I get you another show of Grammatist, which is your English learning program. Okay. Right here on DC Live, where we care, we share, and we are on air. I'm your host, RJ Rudra, and it's 6 p.m., not 5:30. Usually this program is at 5:30, but then only, so this week we're doing it at 6 p.m. I just did not want to miss it, so that's why I came, in a bit late, and let's talk about something which is very interesting. I call this English learning as world of words, right? So we learn a lot of words, okay? And I'm going to talk about very small, but then very important for clear communication. And what am I going to talk about? I'm going to talk about prepositions, right? So I'm going to talk about prepositions. It's called prepositions. I know our English teachers must have thought all of these prepositions, prepositions, and all of that. It's pronounced preposition. Okay, that's what it is. And they also would have given those wonderful examples. That's before or after. That's why it's called preposition. Correct? It's pronounced preposition. Okay, preposition is the right pronunciation. Have you ever wondered about these little words like on? Usually they're two-lettered words, maybe sometimes 3 or 4-lettered, but usually 2-lettered, like in, on, at, with, after. They become the actual communication. When you say, I am in the office, I am at the office, I am on the office, correct? Yeah, I am with someone, I'm with a book, right? So what difference does it make? It makes a lot of difference, correct? So they're kind of your, they make your sentences, right? They actually make your sentences, okay? They help you guide what are you trying to communicate, okay? Now let's understand what exactly is a preposition. Simply talking about, I don't teach grammar people on the show. No, I'm not going to do that. But then it's important for us to understand. Simply put or talk, a preposition is a word, maybe sometimes a group of words, used before a noun, pronoun, or a phrase which shows directions, time, place, location, relationship, or introduction of an object, right? That's what it is. It helps you talk about something, or it gives you an inference, or gives you an idea in terms of what direction is it, what is the time, what is the place, where, when, what, how are prepositions. Now let's take a very simple example. Imagine there are two things. There's a sentence, right? So you form a sentence with a cat and a mat. Cat and a mat. Now if I say the cat is on the mat, which is a preposition here? Cat is on the mat. The word on is the preposition. What does it tell you? It tells you the cat's position relative to the mat. Is it under the mat, or beside the mat, or it's on the mat? It's on it is what we're talking about. Now, if under is also a preposition, now, if you talk about it's under the mat, it's beside the mat, or it's on the mat. Now, that's what it is. See, how can that make a difference in terms of how you're talking? That is what it is. That's the power of preposition. Now, let's quickly look at few words of prepositions. Okay. Now let's talk about common prepositions and their usage. Time prepositions. In, on, at. These three can sometimes get a little tricky, but the general rule is in is used for longer periods, months, years, seasons, centuries, all of it. When does it rain? When is it hot? When is it cold? Season, right? It rains in summer. No, that's wrong. It rains in monsoon. That's what it is, right? It rains in monsoon. It is cold in winters. It's hot in summers. That's what it is, the seasons, okay? Now, my project deadline is in December. You don't say is at December, okay? In December. Now, I started working at the company in 2020. Let's plan our team outing in the summer, okay? That's what it means. We understood in. On is used for specific days and dates, meaning this show is scheduled on Monday. This radio show is scheduled on Monday. That's on. Please submit your reports on the 15th. We'll have a follow-up call on Tuesday. That's what we speak, okay? At, it is used for precise times. Okay. The presentation starts at 10 a.m. Can you meet me at lunchtime? The broadcast Grammatist airs at 5:30 p.m. So it's a precise time. Okay. Now it's a time preposition in, on, and at. All right, people? Great. Let's talk about place prepositions. Even in place, we still talk about in, on, at. So in, on, at can be used in terms of time preposition. Another one is the place preposition. Okay. Now, these three, as I said, in, on, at, are used in terms of places. And again, there's a pattern. In is for larger areas, cities, countries, or enclosed spaces. Okay. For example, I live in Bengaluru or Bangalore. The new server room is located in Block C. We have offices in several countries. That's an in. On is on the surface, specific street floor. The book is on the table. Our department is on the 3rd floor. You can find the cafeteria on wherever the street, right? On the main street. Yeah. Okay. At, it is specific point addresses or general location events. Okay. She's at the bus stop. Okay. She's at the bus stop. Please report to reception at the main entrance. Let's meet at the coffee shop downstairs. This is the place preposition on in, on, at. Now, smartly, people ask, I am in the railway station. I am at the railway station. I am in the hospital or I am at the hospital. Which one of them is right? I am in the office or I am at the office. Now, okay. Now, the difference is this. In the hospital means you're inside the hospital, you're a patient, you're admitted and you're getting treated in the hospital. So that means you're in the hospital. You've gone to visit someone, you're at the entrance of the hospital. Then you're not undergoing any treatment or something like that. Then you say, I am at the hospital. Same thing that with the railway station, you've gone to pick someone up. You can always say, I am at the railway station. Okay, I'm at the railway station to pick someone or receive someone. So you're traveling in a train and then that train stops in the railway station, enclosed, right? So that train stops in the railway station and someone calls you at that time. Then you say, I am in the railway station. That's the difference between in the railway station or at the railway station. Make sense, people? I hope all of you got that. Okay. All right, great. Now let's talk about something else. We'll talk about directions, prepositions to, directions, which is to, into, from, towards, forwards. Okay, which is directions and prepositions are to, into, from, and towards. That's what we're going to talk about. Now, what does to means? Okay. These help us describe the moment. I am going to the office. Could you send that email to the entire team? So to the entire team is a direction. He traveled to Chennai for the conference. Where did he go? He traveled to Chennai. Into indicates movement inside something. The cat jumped into the box. Let's look into the issue deeply tomorrow. Okay, that's what it is. It's kind of a figurative usage, right? Because you imagine that you're getting into the issue. He walked into the meeting room. That's what it is. He walked into the meeting room. From indicates the starting point of a movement. Starting point of a movement. She arrived from Delhi. I received an important update from the HR. We source our raw materials from various vendors. That's the word from. So we have learned to into from. Now let's talk about towards. That's towards. TWARDS. It indicates a general direction, not necessarily the final destination. That's why it's called towards, meaning I walked towards the park, or he walked towards the park. Our efforts are geared towards achieving better customer satisfaction. The team is moving towards a more agile methodology. That is towards. Okay, that is the towards that we're talking about. Now we learned 4 sets. We learned about time. We learned about place. We learned about directions and words under each one of them. Okay, now that's what we have learned. I'm going to stop here for a quick moment and then see if someone has any questions, right? So we also spoke about, I'm going to teach more of these, but then I'm just going to stop here and then look for any questions or anything that someone wants to ask me. Any doubt about a word, I'll be more than happy to take them through. No. Okay, let's continue. Now, in terms of, there could be prepositions of movement, right? So I spoke about directions. We spoke about place. We also spoke about, where we spoke about directions. So let's also talk about movement right now. Okay. A few words about movement are going to be across. Okay. It denotes movement from one side to the other. I ran across the road, right? The dog swam across the river. Okay. Then down indicates movement from a higher to a lower position. He walked down the stairs. Okay. Now into can also be into the movement side, where she stepped into the taxi. Off. 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 He took the hat off his head. Denotes movement away from a surface. Onto refers to the movement toward and onto a surface, meaning the cat jumped onto the counter. Out of indicates movement from inside, meaning she took the wallet out of her bag. Through is again a movement. Okay, the light came through the window. Towards, I already spoke about it in towards the park. Up indicates she climbed up the ladder. Okay. Now the other common prepositions you can talk about is about. Refers to a topic or a subject. We were talking about the new project. By indicates the agent or means of an action. Okay, this book was written by J.K. Rowling. Yeah, refers to the purpose of an action is for. This gift is for you. Refers to the purpose of an action or the recipient of something. This gift is for you. Okay, for you means it refers to the purpose of an action. Right. It's for you. Okay. It's for me. It's for them. So it is for whom. So it can be a recipient of something or it can be the purpose of an action. From denotes the origin or source of something. I got a letter from my brother, from my friend. I got this from my friend. That's a from. OF, not off. OFF is different. OF is also a preposition. It indicates a position, a relationship, or a part of something. Meaning, the top of the mountain was covered in snow. The top of the mountain. Okay. With refers to is another word. With refers to an accompaniment. She went to movies with her friends. Okay. We get this with the movie tickets. That's what we're talking about. All right. So these are few words. Now, another word that I is inside, beside, between are all prepositions. Behind, below, right, above are all prepositions. Okay. Now, these are the words that can be used. These are function words which can be used as prepositions. Now, within is another set of preposition that you can use. I'm going to quickly stop here and see if there's anybody who's got a question, someone who wants to ask me something, someone who has a comment, people, anybody, Priya, someone around? Okay, no worries. All right. Sorry? Something? Okay, let me continue. Now, so let's look at some examples where, we will talk about, we spoke about with, for, about, of, by. And let's look at some real world usages, right? Please send the report by email. That's for the by, right? Of. The majority of employees prefer flexible working hours. Let's talk about the new project proposal. I'm concerned about the delay. That's what we say. We are asking for a response. That's what is another one. Can you help me with the spreadsheet? With the spreadsheet. So these are some real world usages of these words. Let's also look at prepositions and real world conversations, right? So now let's put all together and see how do these little words flow naturally into our daily conversations, especially in a corporate setting. Okay, let's look at a typical morning conversations. There are two team members or colleagues who speak. Hi, did you get the email about the new software update? So which is the preposition here? Did you get the email about the new software update? What is the preposition here, people? About, right? So about is the software. Now I respond. Yes, I did. I'm actually going to a training session on Wednesday at 2 p.m. in conference room 3 for it. Let's identify how many prepositions are here and which are the right ones. I'm going to post this in the chat box, and let's see if people are around and they can answer how many prepositions are here and which are the ones. Okay. This is a sentence, people. I'm actually going to a training session on Wednesday at 2 p.m. in conference room 3 for it. Okay. There's a response. So how many prepositions are here? Anybody can just go ahead and answer. See how many prepositions are there in this sentence alone. How many are there? Anybody wants to take a guess? Okay. 3. Someone says 3. Okay. That's not bad. Okay. I'll give you all the answers. 2. All right. There are 5. Going to is a preposition because it gives where you're going. Okay. On. So that's time. On. At, again, is time. Okay. That's also defined at. Where, right? In conference room. For what? So that's for. So these are the prepositions in that sentence. Okay. Now, let's look at another conversation. Okay. There's a manager and there's a team member. All right. So they say, we need to finish this report by the end of the day. I reply, understood. I'll work with John on it. and we will send it to you before closing. Okay. Now let's look at the number of prepositions in these two sentences. I'm going to post this conversation here on the chat box. Anybody who's here can read this and quickly tell me how many are there. The manager says we need to finish this report by end of the day, and the team member responds, understood, I'll work with John on it and we will send it to you before closing. How many prepositions are here? Count how many in the first sentence the manager talks and in the response. Yeah. Right. The first one has. Okay. It's not bad. Okay. I think Guru Pratibha gets it. There's 6. The first one has 2, and the response has 4. By, off. By and off in the first one. Then with, on, to before. Guru Pratibha, you can get your voucher from Sri Lekha. You can just let her know that I gave you a voucher. She can get that for you. Okay. All right. So take your voucher from her and then you get the response. So that is what it is. All right. Great. Thank you. And really nice, that you, both of you who participated here. Now, let me quickly, give some prepositional phrases. Just a quick note on prepositional phrases. These are a group of words that begin with a preposition and end with another word, like maybe a noun or a pronoun. Okay, they act like adjectives or adverbs, but the preposition is the one which gives the details to the sentence under the table. So table is a noun, but under the table, after the meeting, with great enthusiasm. Okay, so these phrases add kind of specificity to your language with great joy, all right, with deep regret. Correct. So if you look at these phrases, prepositional phrases, they give you the kind of I wouldn't call it enrich, but then it is about your it gives you very specific sentence and a list of a specificity of what is happening and also a richness of what is exactly happening. Okay, so like say across the bridge, right, at the cafe, behind the house, gives those actual meanings and specificity to it. And you can also look at after the brutal fight, before the fall, across the street, inside your ear, outside the house. Okay, behind the scenes. That's a very common phrase, right? On the wooden table, under the couch, right? Into the dark, against the wind, through the tunnel, like this. These are words where prepositional phrases gives you a lot of meaning and a lot of specificity to your. Have you ever heard about this word? Beyond my imagination, right? So this is beyond my imagination. Okay? That's a common one. That's like a beyond my imagination, right? So that's what it is. Now, so that's all I had today, people, for preposition. So quickly summarizing, we learned preposition today. We learned preposition with time preposition, which is in, on, at. And then we also learned place preposition on in, on, at. We learned about direction preposition, to, into, from, towards. And we also learned common prepositions like with, for, about, of, by. We also learned prepositional phrases, prepositions in real world conversations and examples. These were the few things that we learned. And that brings us to the end of another session of Grammatist. I hope today's uncovering into preposition helps you navigate your daily conversations with the right words, because that's where we make mistakes, right? It was told for it, it was told for a reason, or told by makes a lot of difference. So you got to be very careful about using them in both in written communication and in spoken language. It gives you a lot of confidence and clarity. These small words will give you great sense of being right and being able to speak correctly. Okay, I always tell this: get your prepositions and your articles right, your English is going to be good. Okay, keep your ear out for prepositions and everything you read, you hear about, and everything. Okay, I went for the meeting, right? People say, now you ask someone, where were you? I went for the meeting, right? You say that I went for the meeting, so you didn't go for the meeting. I went to the meeting, right? I went for the meeting is what we say, because that's the common mother tongue influence that we have. Meeting aage hogitte, right? Or meeting aage phone hai. So that's where the mistake starts with, right? But you went to the meeting. That's what is important, right? I went for something is for becomes a purpose. Okay. The more you use them correctly, the more natural you will sound. Okay. Thank you, people, for tuning in. This has been a wonderful time. And this is your host, RJ Rudra. And I was talking to you on the Grammatist show, talking about prepositions. And the Grammatist show happens every Monday at 5:30. I know today we did it at 6, but it happens at 5:30. Keep your calendar blocks for that. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep communicating. And this is from D-Touch on DC Live, where we care, we share, we are on air. Thank you.